Hello again. I think the microphone is on. Oh yes, it is. So it is time to check out the passive skills as well. You can have 3 of those. So let's see what they do. Are we ready to see them? Let's see. First we have something I am really digging. I'm always thinking in the way of the hardcore player, and not hardcore as in I play so much and I'm so good, but I'm talking that's not hardcore. If you're playing softcore, you cannot be hardcore. Well, you kinda can, but not as hardcore. Let's put it like that. And yes, I would play softcore as well. I'm very intrigued by the auction house and for real money that is, and of course you cannot really use that in the hardcore modes. So yeah, let's go into this. First we have Bloodthirst. 10% lifesteal. Very simple, very good. Yes, please. And of these two, the two you get at level 10, I would prefer that one over a pound of flesh. Increases the choice of finding health globes, and you get more health from these globes. So here I would definitely prefer Bloodthirst, because I love lifesteal. Keep you in the fights for longer. But we will move on. Down here we got the next one here is Ruthless. Critical hit chance is increased by 5% and critical hit damage is increased by 50%. 50. Do you have to say it? Kinda good. This is something I also like. And as you know, some of the skills are actually used. Well, they trigger and rely on critical. It also says that many skills rely on critical hits. And of course, more damage when you crit is always nice. Weapons Master. You will get more. You will get bonuses. Beroende. Sorry. That is Swedish. For anyone who doesn't know that language, go check it out. It is awesome. Depending on what weapon you're using, you will get different bonuses. Swords and daggers give more damage. Maces and axes will get you more crit. Polearms and spears will get you more attack speed. And finally, mighty weapons will give you 1 fury per hit. Yeah, we can. It's hard to see right now, you know, what I want to use. But let's move on to Inspiring Presence. When you use a shout, the duration is doubled. And when you shout, you will actually basically regenerate 1% of your life each second. I'm guessing that is what it means. 60% per minute. Kinda sounds like 1% per second, but yeah, I'm not sure. Kinda nice. Okay, this one I like. While at maximum fury, you deal 20% more damage. This is kinda good if you're going for not as much spenders as generators, because then you will have max fury quite a lot. When you use them, they will deal more damage. So that is one path you can go. If you prefer to focus on the finishers, well, the spenders, that is, this is not as good. Let's see. Animosity. Increased fury generation by 10% and maximum fury is increased by 20. I assume that you have 100 fury as maximum per usual. I'm not sure about this actually. I just assume, well, based on World of Warcraft, 100 rage. That is how simple I am. I could look it up, but I refuse to do so. Instead, I will just, well, assume that it is that. So you get this one I actually like. And if you're focusing on more spenders, this might be really good because you will get fury faster. Superstition. All damage that is not physical is reduced by 20%. And when you're attacked by a ranged or elemental attack, you will gain 3 fury. So this one I really like as well. Good survivability. And you know, spells and such things is hard to run away from. If you're in melee fight, you can always run away, but it's kinda hard to run away from spells. It is not as easy, at least. Moving on. Tough as nails. Increase armor by 100% and thorns damage increase by 100%. Now I do not know what thorns is. Didn't see one of these abilities, but well, it is increased anyways. Also think that it should be skill called Tough as Snails, because it sounds fun. Well, no escape. Increases the damage of ancient spear and weapon throw by 100%. In addition, killing an enemy with an ancient spear automatically resets the cooldown, and killing an enemy with weapon throws returns 20 fury. If you like throwing weapons, fine, but if you want to be a ranged character, I would assume to be something else. Preferably a wizard, a demon hunter, or a witch doctor. I cannot see why you want to. Well, if you're going to some alternate route, some strange way to play the game. I've actually done this in Diablo 2, and well, if you do something like this, or that, or whatever you want to call it, it might actually be valid to use it. You can do some strange. I actually had a paladin who was using thrown weapons. He was throwing javelins to have a big shield to protect himself. It actually worked out quite well. Not as good as, you know, standard builds. There's a reason why people are not doing that. But it was a great deal of fun to play, and if you want to have a really fun character to play, this might actually be very valid. If you prefer, I want to throw things everywhere, go for this one. Relentless. Do you like living on the edge? While below 20% life, all skills cost no fury. And you also take less damage. This is not a skill I would go for if you're a hard. Well, maybe. Still, it do have this survivability effect. When you drop too low in health, you will take less damage. It might actually save you. So it is kind of decent as well, but not because, well, no fury cost. That is not the reason for this one, because you do not want to be that low in health. Especially, you know, when in the beginning it's easier to see how much damage you might actually take. I assume that when you're running around in Inferno, you will not think, well, I'm going to balance at around 15% health, because that will not end well. So, but of course, if you're taking a lot of damage and you hit 20% mark, boom, you take half damage. So, I really like it. That, you know, survivability, it's important. Well, let's see. Here we go. Now we're starting to talk here. Brawler. As long as there are 5 enemies within 8 yards, all of your damage is increased by 30%. Also, I think they should switch over yards to meters, because the metric system rules. Yeah. This one I really like. This is more my style of playing. You know, be in the face, run into large groups of enemies, and you just smash them and you deal more damage. This is something I really probably should pick. Well, would pick. But moving on, Juggernaut. The duration of control impairing effects on you. So this feels a bit more of a PvP skill, actually. I'm not sure if fears and stun and charm and things like that is really used by the enemies, the mobs, in the environment. If it is, it's kinda good, but it feels like more PvP-ish, if you ask me. If you're impaired, the time is reduced and you will recover life as well. Nothing for me, at least, unless the bosses do stun a lot. Well, moving on to Boon of Bulkatos, even. The cooldown of your Earthquake, Call of the Ancients, and Wrath of the Berserker skill is reduced by 30 seconds. This is something I could Oh, sorry, I read something else and I was going back. Okay. This one, you know, I was talking about I would probably not use Rune to shorten the cooldown of Earthquake. However, this one I do see as a valid way to go to actually short that down, because I really like the skill, especially, you know, if you can run around with it, you know, splashing out from you. I think this is a good way. Maybe I shouldn't pick this one because a lot of these different passive skills, they are great. For example, Unforgiving. This is a skill that really caught my eye. That is why I stopped the previous skill there, because I saw the text of this one. You no longer degenerate fury. This is how it works. And fine, if you're playing World of Warcraft, you know how it works. While not in combat, your rage will decrease, and finally you are at 0. Same with fury. If you're not using Unforgiving, then you will actually gain fury. And this, of course, is in combat as well, but you know, if you're preparing for the combat, you can just wait for this to get your full fury. When charging, you can start dealing a lot of damage. You can use, you know, in the beginning of the fight, you can use something like Earthquake. It costs 75 fury. You can use that in the beginning of the fight to, you know, if there's like 2 or 3 hard hitting, mean, badass boss kind of thingies, and stupid amounts of small things. You can use the Earthquake immediately to get rid of all the small stuff and to be able to focus on the bosses instead. So this is something I really like. And of course, this is for level 60 characters as well. So yeah. These are all passive skills. You can have 3. I think you get one at level 10, one at 20, and one at 30 maybe? Let's see. Just giving it a peek. Come on! No. Ah, that explains it. I'm not sure what I pressed, but I am zooming. Okay. Well, never mind. Damn it. Well, never mind. I will have to live with that. Oh, no, it works. Sorry for that one. Here you see 10, 30, 20, and 30. That is the levels. So this is where you can actually play, and go do that. If you do not have the game, you can play it. You can still play around and have fun. This will wrap up the first character with the first class, the introduction of the skills. It took nearly an hour. It took more than an hour to record, of course, but it is almost an hour of me talking. So yeah, if you like this long ranting about things, where it takes almost an hour to get through everything, all skills, please, you know, first of all, like the videos. I pressed a little thumbs up, but also if you like it, tell me that. Write in the comments, well, I like it. Or if you prefer to, you know, a shorter version, I'm just blasting through, not really then I'm just basically just reading what I do. Can't really talk about it that much, and I cannot really talk faster either, because I'm already stumbling because I'm using my second language. So I cannot really speed up the talking either. So you have to, yeah, please tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed this one. The next class will be something. If you have any wishes, you have to type that very fast, because, well, I will do that tomorrow. And if I get no information or any wishes, I will pick something myself. Well, thank you everybody. This is To the Cathedral. I am Largoplease, and I am tired. My voice is giving up here. Thank you everybody, and good bye.